2 Timothy 4. I charge thee therefore before God and the Lord Jesus Christ, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all longsuffering and doctrine. For the time will come, when they will not endure sounder doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables.
In his thoughts, as the Most High did not plague us with darkness, behold, he has caused his sun to rise and to plague us with burning heat.
So he didn't kill us with the darkness because Adam didn't know what that darkness was. Mm-hmm. So when it got dark, Adam was like, we're about to die. So now he's saying, wow, no, he didn't kill us with the darkness. This sun is about to burn us up. Mm-hmm. Read.
But while he was thus thinking in his heart, the word of the Most High came unto him and said, O Adam, arise and stand up. This sun is not the Most High, but it has been created to give light by day, of which I spake unto thee in a cave, saying that the dawn would break forth, and there would be light by day. But I am the Most High, who comfort thee in the night. And Yah ceased to commune with Adam.
There was one verse, Yah tells him darkness is going to go away and the light's going to return when I come get your people. When I come get your people, the light's going to return forever. Meaning there's going to be no more darkness. It's in there, we keep reading. For the sake of time, we won't. But this confirms what I said. The Most High is trying to get us back to the days of Adam in the garden. So we can't say, or I can't touch that an evening starts today when it was supposed to be no evening. Wasn't supposed to be no darkness around the children of light. Now to confirm this, let's go to the last scroll. Let's go to Revelations 22. Let's go to Revelations 22 and 5. Now y'all gonna love this last part because it's gonna go fast. Revelations 22 and 5. Shema, when you have it.
Shema.
Read.
And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun. For the Most High giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
We return to the Garden of Eden.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. The only way we got night, and y'all know, especially us brothers now, when it's night, man, you fearful. Mm-hmm. You travel with your children, I ain't gonna call them that. The police is wanting to kill us. You got the alt-right wanting to kill us. It's scary at night. There was never supposed to be night around us children of light. It's a consequence of sin. Therefore, my position is a day for us can't start in the evening. We wasn't supposed to have evening.
That's right.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So now we're gonna examine the lunar month, and this is gonna go fast. So put a song in your heart. This is very easy to see. So let's go to Ak. You got is it Josephus tab up?
Let me see.
I have a copy there on the desk. You can pass away. We got Josephus up, and the book is here. We actually start the.
Oh, that's Philo.
Philo, we're gonna need Philo too. If Josephus not up, you can just read it off the out the book, because no one's online. We can just pass the book around.
Okay.
It's the picture. It's the page with the picture of my son in there. So this is Josephus. He's a Levite. Again, his history. He tried to be brave, but he winds up, prophesying over the The Roman makes him a advisor, how to deal with the Hebrews. Josephus gets to record what happened, and this is his complete work. But this book that Ock's about to read from, this is the antiquity of the Jews. And Ock, can you read that highlighted part, the month of Xanthicus?
They left Egypt in the month of Xanthicus on the 15th day of the lunar month, 430 years after our forefather Abraham came into Canaan.
So Josephus is in Rome when he writes all his records of what happened. So he's pointing out that it was the 15th of the lunar month, to let everybody knows who are from the east that we left on a Shabbat. We left on the 15th of the lunar month, and the people of the east, especially the Hebrews, know it was Shabbat. Amen?
Amen.
So let's get Exodus. Is there another?
That was only highlighted part.
Okay, let's we're gonna get Exodus 16. There's one more point to read in that book. Hold that spot there up on that book.
Is that
Okay.
19?
Huh?
Is it 19, 1 and 2?
We're gonna go to Exodus 16 first. But there's another point Josephus is gonna help us see after we read Exodus. So let's start with Exodus 16, verse 1 through 3. This is Exodus 16, 1 through 3.
Shema.
Shema. Read.
And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came unto the wilderness of Shem, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt.
So, and they took their journey is archaic English. It's pretty much meaning, and they're stopping. We're stopping our traveling on the 15th of the second month. And the reason why we're stopping on the 15th of the second month, because it's a lunar Shabbat. It's a lunar Shabbat. It's a lunar Shabbat. And we're going to check this and run this down and show you. So let's get the next one. Let's drop down to verses, same chapters. This is Exodus 16, verse 22 through 23.
And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, This is that which the Most High hath said, Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto Yahweh.
So if you read the full chapter, 16 verse 1 lets you know they're stopping on the 15th, which is a Shabbat. So they honored the Shabbat on the 15th. Now, because they're complaining, the Most High is about to provide for us. And Moses says, gather every day, and on the 6th day, gather twice as much, because the next day is a Shabbat. So if we're stopping on the 15th because it's Shabbat, and we're going to gather for 6 days, what's 15 plus 6?
21.
21. And Moses says the next day is the Sabbath. So if 15 plus 6 is 21, the next day is the Sabbath, what number day of the week is it? Or month?
22nd.
So the Shabbat is the 15th, and the Shabbat is the 22nd. Well, the last got to be 29, but the first got to be 8. So 8, 15, 22, 29. This rhythm's been in our book the whole time. We're just not taught our customs. We're not taught it's been in our face the whole time. We're going to see it again. So we don't need that point in Josephus, because Josephus confirms that we left on the 15th. Well, let's get it. I'll go back to Josephus, and I think it's the same chapter 15, and it's the first paragraph. So you see how they got the paragraphs numbered?
Yeah.
So read chapter 15, the first paragraph.
First paragraph, okay.
And this food they made use of for 30 days.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, start with number 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 3:15. So the Hebrews went out of Egypt while the Egyptians wept, and repented that they had treated them so hardly. Now they took their journeys by Letopolis, a place at the time deserted, but where Babylon was built afterwards when Cambis laid Egypt waste. But as they went away hastily on the third day, they came to a place called Baal-Zephon, on the Red Sea. And when they had no food out of the land because it was a desert, they ate loaves of kneaded of flour.
Unleavened bread?
Yep. Only warmed by a gentle heat. And this food that they made used for 30 days.
So we left on the 15th, which is Shabbat. We had enough unleavened bread for 30 days. That gets us to Exodus 16 and 1 when he says, and which the 15th of the second month since we came out of Egypt. So we left on the 15th, had enough food for 30 days. Now Exodus 16, we're stopping and we're complaining, Moses, we're out of food. That's why Yah came and rained down manna, and he says, gather for 6 days. 15 plus 6 is 22. 15 plus 6 is 21. Mm-hmm. On that 6th day, gather twice as much. Next day, the 22nd, is Shabbat. This is how we backtrack and know it's 8, 15, 22, 29.
Con.
Okay, so now let's go to Joshua 6. Joshua 6, and we're going to read 6 to 10. Joshua 6, verses 6 through 10. This is the battle of Jericho when the walls fell down. Shema. Read.
And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Most High. And he said unto the people, pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Most High. And it came to pass, when Joshua had spoken unto the people, that the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of the ram horns passed on before the Most High, and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Most High followed them. And the armed men went before the priests that blew with the trumpets, and the reward came after the ark. Did I read right?
Rearward.
And the rearward
it's supposed to be.
Came after the ark, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. And Joshua had commanded the people, saying, ye shall not shout, nor make any noise with your voice, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth, until the day I bid you to shout. Then shall ye shout. So the ark of the Most High
No, that's good. I'm sorry. So, again, if we revisit the continuous cycle, we got a problem. We got a problem because the Most High says, I want y'all to march around the city 7 times or for 6 days. And on the 7th day, you're going to march around 7 times. And then when Joshua gives a word, we're going to shout. So according to their understanding, we count the new moons part of our 6 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 7th day is their Shabbat, and we should be marching around 7 times. Now, again, the video I'm going to share with y'all so y'all can have another perspective. Their understanding is Shabbat, we don't do any work. Well, if we go with y'all's system, we're marching around Jericho on Shabbat. We're marching around Jericho on Shabbat, and according to y'all, we can't do that. Not according to us, because like me and you talked about. If the Most High calls us to do anything, he's the boss.
That's right. So,
but according to their understanding, their system is flawed again. It's another era. So let's get Jasher 88. It's a tab on the screen. Because we know what month we did this. Jasher 88, and I think it's verse 14 through 16. Jasher 88, 14 through 16. Jasher is going to support Joshua's story, but it gives more details. It gives more details. You got it up, Op?
Come.
So this is Jasher 88, verses 14 through 16. Read.
And it was the 2nd month, on the 1st day of the month, that the Most High said to Joshua, Rise up, behold, I have given Jericho into thy hand, and with all the people thereof. And all your fighting men shall go around the city once each day. Thus shall you do for 6 days.
When did he rise up? When did he start talking to Joshua? What day was it? It's the 1st day of the 2nd month, which means it's the new moon day. Now, when you read the rest of the story, the Most High gives Joshua the instructions, then Joshua got to go give the Israelites the instructions. So the whole 1st day of the 2nd month is new moon day. Joshua gets the instructions, and then he gives the instructions to the strong man. And then we got to go get in place, Me and you got to get in place to get ready to march around Jericho.
Right.
So the whole 1st day is just giving out instructions. They didn't start the march until the 2nd. Now when you start the march on the 2nd, you get the 6 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th day is going to fall on the 8th. Then we march 7 times. Then it's well, y'all violating the Sabbath. Like you said, the Most High is the boss. If he tells us to march for 60 days straight, he's the boss.
And also to add to, if you look at the Levitical priesthood, they had to offer oblations daily, night and day, every day, including the Sabbath, so they was working.
And we read that last week. The priests profaned the Sabbath and they're blameless. So doing what the Most High commanded us to do is not a violation.
That's right.
And then Yeshua came and confirmed, check your spirit of what you're doing. If you're buying anything for selfish reasons and you don't need it that day, you now you're playing with the Most High. But if you see an old man bleeding, we gonna say it's a sad. I mean, I would really go in and get you some Band-Aids, but
yeah.
So check the spirit of what you're doing. So we marched around Jericho, but it wasn't on the 1st like the continuous said. The whole 1st day was giving instructions because Yah is giving to Joshua. Now Joshua got to give it. We're deep now. We're thousands of deep.
Yeah.
So now he got to tell us what we're gonna do. Then he got to get us in place.
Right.
So pretty much he's talking to the captains of the 50s and the thousands that whole day. We didn't start marching around Jericho that 1st day. So that leads us to a question. Well, why did the Most High want us to march around Jericho on the seventh day, which is a Shabbat? This is when I say learning our language and our culture really means something. We don't do it for arrogant reasons.
Right.
We do it because our language means something. So I got a handout. Did the little man take it? There's an article we're going to read, and when you see why we marched around Jericho for 7 days, you're going to be like, my Yah is awesome. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Queen. So I got start with that page where you at, right there. That's what we need.
It's right here.
And that green too.
So they're in order.
Yeah. And I'm gonna pull it up. There's a tab online. Go hang in there. This we getting there. We almost home. So because now they're questioning, they're gonna tell us, well, according to y'all system, if we do include the new moon in 7 days, y'all violating the Sabbath, and then now we say, well, we did march and it was a Sabbath. So they're like, well, how are we doing it on the Sabbath? Why are we doing it on the Sabbath? Why y'all got us working on the Sabbath? If it's y'all telling us, I'm gonna do it. If he tell me to swim 5 miles on Shabbat,
Yeah.
it's going. I guarantee you, y'all. I'm not a seer. I'm not a prophet. Well, we all prophets. All of us are prophets according to the definition. But I'm not a seer. I guarantee you, though, there's gonna be brothers in the desert talking to Messiah like, we ain't supposed to be doing this. That's how arrogant these brothers get with this knowledge. That's why I was saying, don't read this. We don't need all of them, Queen. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. It was just out of order, so I was trying to make sure that.
Is the pages labeled?
I just see the numbers down here.
Because actually, all we need to start is that
One,
one
two,
you had
right here.
the moon god, the moon chief.
Okay, so you need 17 and 18.
Yeah. From there on, this you can put back up here.
But they're not in order.
It don't matter.
So 17.
Oh yeah, that gotta be in order.
So let me say 17, 18.
We're gonna read this article and show you. Sister Barbara, you wasn't with us when we first started,
Yes, they are.
but I asked the question, how many sarcastic people do we have? And I love sarcasm. And I try to work on it, but our Father is sarcastic. You can read in Judges, he told the Israelites, when you get in trouble again, don't call me, call those idols you've been calling to. I read that, I was like, whoa, Most High is cold. So when we read this story, the Most High is sarcastic when he did this to the Jericho. He's being sarcastic. So there's a tab up too, you can put an article up. This is the Moon City Falls or something like that. The Moon City Falls. The fall of the Moon City. The fall of the Moon City. And the link's on the handouts too, so you can read it in its entirety at your leisure.
Actually, it's not up, actually.
It's not up. All right, we can just read from the handout. There's no one online anyway, so the link is on the handout too.
Okay.
I think it's on the start on page. You said it's on the moon.
The moon, when it starts talking about the moon chief, I was going to read, and we're going to find out why the Most High had us march. And on the seventh day, we marched twice. We marched 7 times on the 7th day. So we did twice as much work on the 7th day. And according to the legalists, this is a violation of the Most High law. So a Muslim and an atheist would look at us like, y'all workers contradict themselves. He's telling y'all not to work on the Sabbath. Then he got you doing work on the Sabbath, and you doing twice as much. You don't understand our Yah. You don't understand our culture. So we're going to read this article, and you're going to see how sarcastic the Most High is. So this is the fall of the Moon City.
Okay. Starting from the very top.
No, just where it starts in the green.
Okay, so that must be this page. Start with this page. This one right here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ancient cities were dedicated to moon worship, having the moon as their patron god. One such was in Mesopotamia, with Nana as the patroness.
Where Abraham started at, moon worship.
Even in Mesopotamia, the moon was the chief astral deity at this time. Early in Canaanite religion, the male moon god, Yerach.
What's his name?
Yerach.
Yorak. Yorak is the Hebrew word, or Phoenician, because Phoenician and Hebrew is the same, pretty much the same language. So Yorak is moon, and our word Yorah, or month, is related to Yorak. So y'all stay with me here. Yorak, Jericho.
No.
Yorak, Jericho. Jericho's real name is Yorak. They worship the moon. And we brought out in the beginning, all people of the east use the moon, the phases of the moon, to get their days. So the Most High say, okay, y'all worship the moon. The moon is the great God. Watch what my people do. So finish up. We'll just read a little bit more because it's getting late.
Okay. Yerach was the chief god of the pantheon, and the female sun god, Shamash, was his cohort. Later, these were changed to Baal and Ashtaroth.
Sun worship and moon worship.
To judge from the Canaanite place, names of the earliest periods such as Jericho and Yerach, as well as from non-Semitic personal and place names of the 2nd millennium BC, the cult of the sun god and moon god, or goddess, was at its height in very early times and steadily declined thereafter. In Palestine, there seem to have been 2 cities associated with moon worship, both facing east. One was Bet Yerach, Temple of the Moon, on the southwest shore of the Sea of Galilee. The other was Jericho, with the broad Jordan Valley extending eastward. The former ceased to be inhabited by ca 2000 BC, but Jericho was a leading city in Joshua's time. And like the seat of the moon worship, Then Jericho coming from Yerach, the moon, if the moon was the chief of the Canaanite pantheon, it would be very strategic city indeed.
So that's all we need for the sake of time. But the article is on your handouts. You can read the handout. The gist of it is the Canaanites were moon worshippers. The city of Jericho's real name in the native tongue is Yerach. So the Most High is telling them, oh, you think you worship the moon? Watch what I have my people do. So every seven days, the moon changes its phase. So on the seventh day, or our first Shabbat, the first quarter is full. The crescent comes that thin fingernail, and it keeps growing and growing. And on the seventh day of the week, but not the seventh day of the month, it's actually the eighth day of the month. It's a full quarter. So that's the first phase. So the Most High told Joshua, I'm about to show my power to give you and the people strength, and let all these nations know, the moon is, I control the moon. I'm going to destroy the city of your rock on y'all first, because they were getting ready to celebrate that first quarter. So how sarcastic is y'all getting ready to celebrate y'all first quarter of y'all moon worship, and I'm about to destroy your city.
Yeah.
You see how y'all sarcastic? Mm-hmm. So you can finish that article on your own, but that's why we marched around Jericho 6 times, and then on the 7th day, we did 7 times to show them. And the scripture reference is, let's go get it. Let's get a scripture reference in Luke 6 and 5. Luke 6 and 5. I'm going to clean this up and put it on the YouTube channel so you can go back and vet it. I know it's a lot to take in because I didn't get this overnight, so I don't pretend that it's easy to grasp this. But the proof's in the pudding, the resources are there. Our Shabbats are 8, 15, 22, and 29. So Luke 6 and 5. Shema, when you have it.
Shema.
Read.
And he said unto them that the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath.
So we know Lord is a Canaanite term for Baal. So what he's saying is Yeshua is the master of the Sabbath. So if he, like I said, if he want us to dance all night on the Sabbath, if he want me to build a wall, he's my boss. He created the Sabbath. So that's why last week I was like, we're not legalists. We do the best we can in captivity, but we listen to the Most High, and it's the spirit of what we're doing. So don't let these brothers put these burdens on y'all. Yeshua is the master of the Sabbath. And he showed them in Jericho, the moon is not king, the Most High is. Amen?
Amen.
So now let's wrap this up and bring it home. To address the point that the moon is considered, the new moon is considered part of the 6-day count. We're going to show you how the new moon is not considered part of the 6-day count. Let's go to Ezekiel 46. She enjoyed this lesson. Thank you. I got an amen back there. Ezekiel 46. And this is to show that the new moon is not counted with the 6 working days as the continuous cycle does. And we really didn't have to go this deep, but so many brothers, they need concrete evidence, but we really examined this or debunked it in the first few minutes of this lesson.
Don't write on that.
Ezekiel 46 verses 1 through 2, I believe we need.
Shema.
Read.
Thus saith the Most High, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open.
So the gate is going to be shut for 6 working days. How many days is going to be open? The Sabbath is open, and then when?
On the new moon.
So do we have 8-day weeks? We don't have 8-day weeks, right? So when they say the new moon is part of the 6 working days, this ain't adding up. Because he says, keep the gates open for the 6 working days, or closed, right? Then open it. Is it open? I'm getting it backwards.
It says, I'll read it. Thus said the Most High, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days.
Don't do. Oh.
the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon it shall be open.
So he says the gate's going to be closed for 6 working days, the new moon is open, and the Sabbath is open. So you can't have an 8-day week. We never have an 8-day week. So that means the new moon can't be part of your 6 working days. Can everybody see that?
Have a seat. Sit down.
Can everybody see that?
Yes.
6 plus 2 is 8. We've never had an 8-day week. So there's no way that this new moon can be part of your 6 working days. That's why the continuous cycle of Sabbath can't be right. Can't be right. Let's get it again just for good measures. Let's get it in Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66.
Sit down, Benjamin.
Isaiah 66 and 23. Isaiah 66 and 23.
Sit down. I'm sorry, 66.
This is Isaiah 66 and 23. We doing good. We doing good.
Shema.
Shema. Read.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Most High.
The new moon is always unto itself. It's not included with the 6 working days. That's why the continuous cycle doesn't add up according to what the Most High. This is not my words. We took our time to go through all this history. Now the scriptures are confirming the new moon is not part of our 6 working days. Now, you're not prohibited from work on the new moon day, but it's still not counted as part of the 6 working days. So we don't have when we go to Leviticus 23, there's no festival called New Moon Day. It just was understood in our culture, the New Moon Day is a special day, and we honor that, and it's not counted with the 6. Let's get it one more time. And I'm sorry we have to do this, but this is how these brothers get so caught up in pride. Let's go to Amos 8. Amos 8 is back there by Obadiah. Go towards the back by Obadiah, and we're going to get Amos 8 and 8 and 3, I think it's 8 and 5. Amos 8 and 5. Amos 8 and 5. Shema?
Oh, I gotta go to table of contents.
Don't worry about it. I get it. This is Amos 8 and 5. I knew it was a lot of reading today. So this is Amos 8 and 5. Shema, you got it? It's right before Obadiah. After Joel. These people call them minor prophets, but I don't know if you say one word of the Most High, I don't know how you call this man minor.
Yeah.
You see how these people...
I'm sorry, family. Amos, right?
Amos 8 and 5?
No. Okay. Almost there. Go back there, man. Go back. Okay.
You ready? So it says, saying, let's go back to verse 4 to get some context. This is Amos 8 and 4. Shema? Hear this, O ye, Slakia. Hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail. Verse 5. Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. So our people are complaining, like, when the new moon's getting out of here, so I can rob the Israelites some more. So I'm going to make the ephah, meaning the priesthood, the ephah is what the priest wrote, you're making that small, and you're magnifying the shekel. You put money before Yah. But the point we need is, he says, you're saying when the new moon's going to be gone and when the Sabbath's going to be gone. Now, because I had these conversations with the brothers, I'm going to tell you what they're going to say or what they're saying about this verse. They're saying, when they say new moon here, they're talking about an annual festival, not the 30-day new moon. So I was like, okay, let me examine that. So being a Berean, asking the question, why would it be bothering you that the new moon comes once a month and you can't make money? That don't make sense that this is an annual new moon.
Right.
They're complaining about the monthly new moon and the weekly Sabbath, saying when it's going to get out of here so I can get my paper.
Yeah.
Again, this proves that the new moon is not part of the 6 working days. Huh?
Come on.
So now we can just run this down. Let's go to Philo. We're going to show you that this is going to finish solidifying that the 15th is a Shabbat. This is going to solidify that the 15th of every month is a Shabbat. So let's get Philo. What's on there? You see the number 161? Oh, I got to do the search. Give me Control F. You got the document up?
Yeah, I'm opening in the Adobe Acrobat Reader so we could search.
Oh, it went on my side.
Okay.
Is it up?
Yeah, I think it might have came up on your side.
You see the search box? Control F. Oh, it's back on my side. How you
Is it okay? I'm gonna say,
Can you get it back?
There you go.
Pull back my side. Pull it back over for me, please.
Okay.
So, Philo is about to confirm that the 15th is a Shabbat, a lunar Shabbat. It's the 7th day of the week. That's the confusion. You got the 7th day of the month and the 7th day of the week. The 7th day of the month is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it's not the 7th day of the work week for us Hebrews, because the new moon starts day 1, but that's not day 1 of the work week. It starts day 2 starts the work week, and he's about to prove that the 15th is a Shabbat. Y'all with me?
Yes.
You got a search box up there? It's on my page. Why don't stay up?
Yeah, you gotta drag the PDF browser all the way over to this screen. I won't. Let's see if I can go. There we go.
Okay, so y'all got it up there?
And you hit Control F.
Control F.
There we go.
All right, so I love these PDFs because all you got to do is hit Control F, and we're going to search for festivals. And then just to keep y'all, we're about to show you how Messiah kept the lunar Shabbat. Festivals, did it come up?
Yes.
And we want the first instance, I believe.
Yep, that's the first sentence.
So, let me see what the paragraphs say.
So he argues similarly for the understanding of Jewish festivals.
No. Hit it again. I thought it was the... Keep going. We want 159 or 160.
Oh, it's based on the page.
There's paragraphs headings.
Is this?
Keep going. Hit it a couple more times. We want one. It'd be a 161 in parentheses.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Go back. Oh, there we go. Through there. So this is about to prove concretely that the 15th is a lunar Shabbat. It's the 7th weekday.
There we go.
So you can exit that off. And I got Philo here, so you can. Those of you in the house can read it. I'll start with the.
Right here's the so.
Yeah, mommy.
Yeah.
That's mommy.
Is this the same document? Scroll up. And this is the PDF.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why he usually is different.
Or maybe let me. We'll go to this one. This is the.
We want the Decalogue. Go up, go up. I mean the table of contents.
Okay.
No, let me type in the Decalogue. Let me type in the Decalogue. That's what chapter it's under.
Okay. Yeah, you still can do Control F on this one too.
Is the search box there?
Yeah, it's there. There it goes. Decalogue.
So the Decalogue is referring to the Ten Commandments. We refer to the Ten Commandments as the Decalogue or the decade, meaning 10.
So just go down to the.
There we go. Now just scroll down. We're just going to take it. You have to do the hard way. Keep scrolling, and it's going to be. See these parentheses? You at 18.
Yeah.
We need 161, I believe.
Okay.
And this is going to concretely show you the 15th is the 7th weekday, or a 7th or lunar Shabbat, 7th of the week.
Oh, here it goes.
And if the 15th is the 7th of the week, mathematically you're going to have 8, 15, 22, and 29.
Highlight it.
Boom. Hallelujah. And I got the book in the house so we can read it. Can you read that paragraph, please?
Calm. But to the 7th day of the week, he has assigned the great festivals. Those are the longest duration at the periods of the equinox, both vernal and autumnal in each year.
Start it one more time, please.
But to the 7th day of the week, he has assigned the greatest festivals.
To the 15th of the month, or to the 7th day of the month, he's assigned the greatest festivals. And that word greatest is meaning the longest. The 15th or the 7th day of the month, we have 2 longest festivals. I'm testing just late.
I thought he said week.
Read it again.
But to the 7th day of the week, he has assigned the greatest festivals. Those are the longest duration at the periods of the equinox, both vernal and autumnal in each year, appointing 2 festivals for these 2 epochs, each lasting 7 days, the one which takes place in the spring being for the perfection of what is being sown and